forward. So let's start with a recap of last session. I'm just going to share my screen. Share screen. Okay. So quick recap from last session. Boundaries. So the boundaries that we set for ourselves were listening, truth, respect, fairness, and wonder. I think we started the session like that, that's for sure. And we're here to find a passion to continue to connect with your team through culture, improvement, deepen the understanding of how to use cards and the ShareTree app, spreading the power, purpose, and gratitude, align more purpose and passion to make an influence for good. So did we cover a fair bit of that off last session already? Beautiful. So what we went through, just to recap again, I'll be working off the slides, which you have a copy in the resource library. The handbook is actually the reference book. Wherever you see the red P number is the page number that it refers to in the book. And then there's an activity book, which you can write directly into. It's a Word document, so you have your own copy of it. You can use that when you run activities with your own clients. Whenever you see the icon for the ShareTree app, we'll be using the phone app. So we went through what was culture. We went through the roadmap. We went through what the 3 key aspects were, where it's used. Then we went through how to set up the phone app, how to use the phone app's key functions, how to acknowledge the 4 different ways that we can acknowledge. Then we went through reading your own character tree profile, and then how to set up your own specific settings. And then we went through the language of character, how to acknowledge, how to do it verbally, how to do it through the technology. And then we went through the layers, the 7 layers. So I'll give you a quick quiz on the layers.
Oh no, don't quiz me.
If I want to look at the culture aspect, what are the 7 needs of culture?
Was one purpose?
Yep, sense of meaning and purpose. It's the 7th layer. Great.
All I want to do is cheat and look at my app.
Yeah, resist that. This feeling.
Was there a resilience?
Yeah, so that's the courage layer. Yeah, so a sense of accomplishment. Layer 3.
Growth.
What was that one again? Sorry.
Growth. Was there something about growth on the?
Yeah, evolution and growth, which is our intellect. That's layer 6.
Okay, I've done 3 now.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to keep going, do you?
So we were just talking about one earlier about the culture of trying to raise kids from home, sense of
achievement,
support, being supported. I'll go through them. So feeling safe and secure.
Oh, feel safe, yes.
Feeling supported, which is what we're talking about, homeschooling children.
Yeah.
Feeling accomplished, which is what Michelle mentioned. Right at the center is feeling valued. Yeah, that's the really balancing one. Feeling freedom and autonomy, which is what's strained right now during COVID-19. Feeling evolved, which is the one that you mentioned, Michelle, to evolve ourselves to keep growing our intellect, and feeling a sense of meaning and purpose. So there, if there's anything that you remember ingraining yourself, that's one of the main things to get familiar with, to verse, because that allows you to have conversations with people when you're engaging and coaching, both individuals and organizations, and guide and see the patterns. That's really the best piece of the fundamentals. Then we went through culture activities. So we did that for each layer, if you remember. So you've got that as now a reference guide. That'll be updated again at the end of this workshop, but there was no new ones in there from the 2 groups. And then we did an activity using character cards. We looked at the difference between virtues and values. We went through the cards and how to read them, and all the different scenarios that we can use them in. Then we looked at the origins of ShareTree's character cards with our partnership with the Virtues Project. Then we went through organic strengths, to do as an activity, which you can use for the cards or the app. Then we looked at how purpose plays a role in setting culture DNA, purpose and vision. And we looked at the breakdown about the primaries and the secondaries. So what are the primary values of organisation mostly linked to? Is it the purpose and vision or the context of their situation?
The main one,
Yeah,
the triangle goes to the purpose
perfect. And
and values.
the 4 situational ones are then contextualized to their evolution.
Contextualized, yes.
Perfect. That's the evolution cycle of organizations. And then we did the exercise of creating a culture DNA as an exercise. And then you've been left with doing the 30-day character growth exercise. How are you guys going with doing the 30-day character growth exercise?
No, not yet.
I did it. I started yesterday because I knew I was coming to, because I had it written down, Steve, but then I had all this other stuff to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm doing it. And it works in really well with a project that I'm doing at the moment. And I did the gratitude every day, gratitude journal. And I got an alarm on my phone to do it every day. And I actually did it before I went to sleep last night. So it's something I'm doing anyway. So I thought I'll use the app to prompt me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it will track your happiness then as well. And you'll see the impact of that over time.
Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, probably I didn't want to check on my happiness, like this way.
Well, when you feel least happy is where it actually has the biggest impact.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely.
And I remind myself of that even still till today. I've done 12 of them now. And I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. I was like, yeah, that's when it's most important. So I push myself to do it. And sure enough, within the next couple of days, I feel up again. So that was the summary of it. We've both already completed Karametrics assessment.
That's the one that I was meant to do, and I forgot how I was meant to do it.
So if you just repeat that, I'll put that in the chat link so you can do it.
I've got it here. Yeah, I've got it here. I remember I couldn't remember the other thing I was meant to do, and it was on my phone the whole time. I'll do that after.
Yeah, so we definitely need that done straight after this session because we've got to compile the report.
Yeah, sorry, I completely forgot.
No worries. That's why we've got the recap. All right, now we are here at session 2. So hopefully you've had a flood of remembrance. Everything's coming back.
Yes, everything is coming back.
So we've completed. Yep, go ahead.
Quick question, but it's going to be a silly question. I know. Maybe I should know the answer.
There's never any silly questions.
Yeah, it's just psychologically you feel better when you say that, right? Character growth exercise. When I say begin growth exercise, I see the character quality to be cultivated, gratitude. How can I change that, or does it get changed?
Oh, so it always starts with gratitude?
It does, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think it starts with gratitude?
Is that what the program is based on?
It is.
Yeah.
There's another reason as well.
There must be some other reason.
There's the reason. So
yeah. So that's why.
Gratitude is the only one that has these effects on the body: dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and serotonin. The only one that comes close to that one is purposefulness. The sense of purpose also has a very similar effect, which is why we're about gratitude and purpose. The next, the associated ones: service, compassion, love. They anything in that space has a similar effect. But we're heart-centric beings. Gratitude is the most powerful one. Then there's also in the emotional space, forgiveness, acceptance, and detachment. Yeah, that's also quite a powerful one in a different way. But that's why we start with gratitude. After you finish gratitude and you're centered, then you can pick anything in the whole 120. Okay. So it's going to give you a self-profiling assessment, which will highlight your strengths and growth opportunities. And then you pick whatever you choose to do next. It's not necessarily about growing areas where you want to be stronger. It's also reinforcing the strengths you already have. So I normally recommend people, after you finish gratitude, do your strength next and strengthen yourself, then go to one of your growth areas.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So let's bring us back to the session. Okay, so we completed all of this last session. Now we're here creating ShareTree groups and teams. That's what we're going to do now, is create a group. Team culture engagement survey. We're going to learn how to read that report, run that report, unpack that report, and then culture connect and monthly reporting. This is where ShareTree makes its income through our service. Everything up to this stage is completely complimentary. But when they buy the strategic insights, it's not necessary, but for organizations that want to navigate and increase their performance, we take a fee for helping them in that process. And that sustains us as a charity to support the schools and the community organizations. So let's go into that. So what we're going to cover off today is starting this part now of set the direction, team culture engagement survey. We've already covered off all this setting the direction last session. We've learned how to set up the app, but we're now going to learn how to create a group on the app so that we can start getting out the group reports for the 30-day character growth exercise. So if they do them as a group, it will collate the happiness impact across the entire team. And we know there's a direct correlation between people's increase in happiness and connection and team performance, which is the second aspect of what we had on the return on investment that we discussed last session. Two parts to saving money. One is staff attrition. The second part is team performance. So these are the main areas that we're going to cover today. How to read this report that comes out of the team engagement. So gratitude. There's different levels of maturity when it comes to gratitude. So you might start at, I'm not grateful enough, but I personally believe we're hardwired to be grateful. If you just watch kids, it's automatically in them. No one teaches them that. But we can lose it along the way from the pressures of life. If you do lose it, then rediscovering it. Journaling is a nice, simple way to get used to the practice of gratitude, an introspective way. It's powerful, not as powerful as being outward, which creates ripples. So if I share my gratitude, and this is why ShareTree is very powerful, because by sharing gratitude, hence the name ShareTree, it creates ripple effects so that those people's mirror neurons will kick in, reciprocity will kick in, and then they will do it either to themselves or others, and then you just create this flow effect. Negativity works in exactly the same way, just not for the positive. So my gratitude has a reciprocal effect, contributes to a culture. And then the highest state of gratitude is I see gratitude as part of everyday life interactions. It takes time to get there, the same as it does take time to refine anything that you choose to put your effort into. So going to the phone app, I'm going to take you through groups and how to set up groups, create a group, educate metric, join a group, and also edit your favorites and manage group members. So let's go through each of those sections.
I actually need to do this, so that's fabulous.
So if you go into your ShareTree app, this is the new design. So I've got to update that slide. But where you find groups, this is the icon for your forest. So they're all the people in your network that you're sharing your acknowledgement text with. This is the groups icon here. So there's more than two people. This is talking about an interaction or a culture, which is why it's got the circle around it. So if you tap on that, it's going to show you all the groups that you're part of. Now I'm part of a lot of groups because I'm a culture practitioner, seeding groups and also running a few different companies. So to create a group, which is the important part, there's this plus button here. Now to create a group, you must have met part of your evolution cycle. So I'm just going to go back to my profile. If I go into my evolution cycle here, which shows you what features are unlocked, you see at the seedling stage, I must send and receive one leaf. And what that does is it unlocks the feature to create and manage groups. So if you've created a group for someone and someone wants to create a subgroup, they need to have sent and received one leaf. Yeah, this ensures that they understand the core mechanism of ShareTree, which is acknowledging character strength. Now I'm going to go back to the groups part, just here. Now, if you hit the plus sign, it's going to let you create a group. So you should be active for both of you, right? We've sent and received a leaf each last session. So if you tap on the center picture, you can upload your own picture, yeah, by camera, by gallery. So I'll just take a quick picture of us, yeah, which is a test group that now goes up into the gallery. Now I can also set the background image by touching this picture up here. Yeah, I can change that one as well for this, and it's the same way. For this exercise, I'm not going to change the background. I'll leave the default bonsai tree, which is symbology for guiding and grooming the culture. Yeah.
I have only one group, ShareTree Culture Practitioner group.
Yep.
When I press on the plus, it tells me to set up groups, you must first reach the seedling stage of the ShareTree evolution cycle, which I did not.
So have you sent and received one leaf? You definitely sent a leaf and you received a leaf. Did you accept the leaf that you received?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So if I search up your profile, you don't mind me bringing up your profile on the recording?
No, yeah.
So if I go to your profile, yep, so you've definitely received leaves and you've sent leaves. So if I go to your evolution cycle, you don't have anyone in your forest yet. Oh no, that's fine. One, send and receive one. Oh no, leave sent. So it hasn't captured that you've sent a leaf. So just send me a leaf now and this count should go up.
Okay. How do I send this? One more time.
Yeah, just go home, send a leaf, send one through to me, and we should see that count go up.
Oh, send a leaf acknowledgement type inside ShareTree.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to practice this a lot.
So just find Michelle or myself. So you've probably sent external leaves, which won't count and wants to see an internal leaf.
No, I don't think I've sent it external, but I was thinking about it.
Or it might not be received by whoever you've sent it to yet either. That's the other way, because it counts what's received. So yours is active, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's pause this.
I need to type.
That's okay. I'll pause the recording, so take your time. I suggest to send it to either Michelle or I so that we can just receive the leaf now, and that way it will activate your profile.
Okay, I'm going to make it very quick, short one. Do I need to select a group? No, I don't need to.
No, you don't have to. You can just send it directly to a person.
Okay. I sent you, Stephen.
Send it to me. I'll just turn it on because I've got my notifications off. There it is. There's the leaf you just sent me. Thank you for your leadership, clear vision to guide us through ShareTree. Thanks. All right, I'll just start the recording again. So here's the leaf that you've just sent me now, which I'll accept. If I go back now to your tree, I should see the count has increased on your send receive ratio. So now you can see you've sent one leaf and now your groups feature should be unlocked, right?
Yes, okay, 1 second. I'm going there. Yes, it is.
Excellent. Yep. So if you tap on the plus now.
I did.
Yep, then you can add your photo like we were doing before. I'll use the camera as part of this example. Call the group name whatever you like. I'll call this the test group. Then you'll put in what type of group you have. So you've got four different types of groups, or 3 entity groups and a family group. Now, a family group doesn't have the functions that some of the entity groups have. So the key difference between the family group and the other entity groups is that the entity groups have culture posts, so you can put up things to lead and drive the culture, whereas the family group is really just about acknowledging, connecting each other. The family group has functions that will auto connect to the school activities. If you've got kids in school as well, it will feed leaves from your children at school interactions to your family tree. The community organisations and the schools profiles also have the ability to create volunteering requests. So families and businesses can participate in volunteering activities, but only those 2 types of profiles can create volunteering requests. So we're going to create a charity community organisation group, which is what ShareTree Practitioners is. Then you've got the different subcategories. So now it wants to know what type of community org are we? Charity, not-for-profit, or unregistered. If we go into the schools, there's a private or a public school. If we go into the businesses, then there's private or public business. So you've got all the different categories. If you go into a family, I don't think there's any categories yet. There's none. So we're going to be a community organisation, and we are a registered charity. Now you can put in your website if you want to. In this case, we don't need to for the demo. You can always update this information later on as well. What are your group qualities? Now, if you've gone through and executed a culture DNA like we did in the last session, you'll now have the 7 values to populate this group: 3 primaries and 4 secondaries, and it will take you through that process. If you don't have them, you can adopt them from the company's existing ones, get the tree moving, and then you get your monthly reporting and you adjust as you go. So you can go in and change the values at any time. If you don't have either of those, you can hit this lovely button that's been developed by a development team here, which is use defaults. So it will auto-populate them with a default set of character traits to get you going and started on your way, and then you can adjust as you go. So we'll do that for the group. But say I didn't want to use those, I could go through and then change to whatever I like. Yeah. So then it gets you to segregate what are your 3 primaries and what are your secondaries if you do it manually. But we've gone with auto default. Search visibility. So now you can make your group public or private. Now be mindful, if you make it private, people won't be able to search for it. So you'll have to manually invite every single person into the group, but that's the privacy laws and that's the way it's designed. So we strongly recommend a public group unless there's some security need, because gratitude shared is gratitude squared, and a problem shared is a problem halved. So that's our philosophy on it. So we'll go with a public group. Where you're located. So we are head office in Glen Waverley, but we're global now. And then you hit next. Now it's going to ask you for your purpose and your vision, because it's important to lead your team with purpose and vision. Again, if you're not really clear yet on what they are, you can just put in a to be determined and come back to it later. We know what ours is. In this case, we would type it out and fill it in, and it's accessible to change at any time.
And if we had those 3 primary and the 4, we could just definitely add these 3.
If you had the 3
values,
primary and the 4 secondary, yeah, you would have this now, because you would have done a culture DNA workshop. So you'd have purpose, vision, and values. That's what comes out of that workshop. So we can co-facilitate that with you as culture practitioners to build that skill over time. And then once you're comfortable, you can deliver it yourself.
Okay, that's exciting. Yes. So
the next part here is the pulse of the earth. Yeah, this is about creating shifts to protect our planet, and it's linked to the UN Sustainable Goals. So it's going to ask you from the 9 global initiatives that we've mapped to the UN Sustainable Goals, what this group's passion and purpose is most aligned to. So we're most aligned to human ethics and character education. We're most aligned next to health and well-being, and ShareTree is about balancing wealth and income equality.
Steve, just to let you know, I just tried to do that and every box was ticked and it wouldn't let me untick anything. So I couldn't,
Yeah, we'll screen capture that then. Yeah, we'll screen capture that and try and explore what's happening there. Then it will allow you to sequence what's most important to you. So the algorithm in the back end will start making connections based on your group's purpose to people that want to volunteer. If you're a charity org, it'll start proposing for your group who you might be able to support. So it starts creating global shift about helping us all evolve. So that's that part, and then you publish the group and the group's up. So there's our group. Now you can, next, you're going to want to invite people to the group, right? So I'm in a nice lonesome group on my own now. To invite people to a group, you click on group members, the forest. So the group forest is a team of 1 at the moment, and I am the leader and the owner of the group. It will show you the evolution cycle of each group member. It'll show you the share standards, and you can send a leaf directly through here. So when you've got a group, you go to the group, you look at who's in the group, but you send a leaf straight. You don't need to search for them, and it will auto-populate the name. Now I'm gonna.
How many groups do you have under ShareTree?
At the moment, active groups is about 300 and something, and growing every day. We can't track it anymore. They're popping up all over the world.
That's what I would think too. You know, once people they start using it, you know, it's public and sharing and having all these functions and features. And are those, you know, like schools and communities and businesses are able to create groups as well?
Yeah, that's
absolutely. That's the whole idea of
the whole idea.
Bringing everybody together, right? Okay.
Then you've got groups and subgroups. So I'll add you guys to this group as an example. So I would just search for Naz, because I know you're already on ShareTree. There you are. Then I can select you, and then I can hit add selected groups. Don't accept it, obviously, because I'm going to delete this group. Now that will send you an invite. Actually, do accept it. We can leave the groups afterwards. Now, if you're not yet on ShareTree, you can see down the bottom here, you've got a different option. And this is how a lot of groups start out, because they build the group. People don't understand ShareTree. Then they send all the invites to the people to join ShareTree. So invite a member to ShareTree as part of this group, right? Like do that. It's going to copy and paste now an automatic text for you. And again, you can go through whatever platform you have on your phone. So I'm going to use LinkedIn. I'm going to invite Michelle through LinkedIn. There's Michelle. Now I wouldn't do this ordinarily because I know Michelle's already on ShareTree, but I'm giving you the example. Now this is the message that goes to Michelle. So it says, hi, I'm inviting you to join me here on ShareTree app. Please download the app, join the group, test group. Yeah, so it puts in the name of the group you've created as well. So it helps navigate Michelle to my group. Then it says, here's the link to download ShareTree and use my invite code, which is going to seed a fruit on your tree for planting the seeds of change. Search for the group, test group, and request to join. Yeah, so it's just reiterating it again because people tend to miss it. Once you're done, please let me know. We're good to go. So it's a bit of customization in the message to feel real. I hit send to that. That goes off to Michelle through that network. So I could use email, Facebook Messenger, whatever it is that you have on your device.
And Stephen, just a quick question. So when I do my camp, you know, I want to just grow this ShareTree, you know, beyond, you know, I mean, beyond my imagination. But I will have some people that I want to bring them into a place where they can engage, and which they're going to be taking the assessments, or they're going to be familiar with the ShareTree. So this place would be a great for them to become a member and also just be part of the group to actually engage and practice and actually be able to do their growth and strengths, you know, like by sending leaves and by experimenting, right?
Yeah.
So now that I'm thinking right now, just loud. Okay.
Yeah. So Yeah, in a conference scenario, you create it, you have one of the big panels. We've got big digital panels, which are huge mobile phones. I'll wheel one in so you can see it. We have these, which are used in corporates. So corporates put them in their foyer, they will put them in their HR, they'll put them in their lunchrooms, different areas, or you can use them for conferencing events or workshops. So as people are acknowledging each other, then you see the live feed coming up on this. It's just a big version of this. It's a huge mobile phone essentially, but we don't recommend you go try shaking it to come up with random character cards.
No, this is awesome. And this actually works better, you know, after pandemic, if you do a workshop in person.
Yeah.
We can do it then, okay.
Yeah. So the other way is that Michelle could search for the group. So you could search for test group, Michelle, and you can request.
I found it.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't work out how to actually join it though.
So if you search for a group, let me go through.
And I found it.
Yeah. And then on the group itself, so say I go to search.
Yep.
I'm going to search for a group. Group post test. Yeah. I have to find a group that I'm not a part of. So you're looking for, see here, these are individuals.
Oh, yeah.
So you're looking for a group. So here's a test community organization in Madrid. So someone's obviously playing with this in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm not a member of this group yet. So you can see down here, the group icon. Would normally be the forest. It's just showing there's a group with a plus sign. If you tap on that, it's going to request to join.
Okay, cool. I've just requested to join your test group.
Yeah, so I'll see that now here. So I've got a notification now that came. Michelle has sent a group request. See this one?
Yeah.
So if I tap on that, or I'll have a notification there, I can accept that and it will show you now as part of that group. So if I go back into my groups, it'll be down the bottom here, test group. Here it is. Open that group. If I look at who's now in the group, I see both of you are now in our group.
Yay.
So well done. That's the most complicated part of ShareTree.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Really?
it. That's the most complicated part.
Believe me, this is you know, to me, Facebook, you know, and Instagram is the most complicated platform. You know, when I do just like a sharing and the groups and just posting, yeah, just I'm not really good at it. But not that I don't like the platform. It just, this is so simple, Stephen. I think it's awesome. I really love this.
Well, simplicity is one of our organizational values. It's one of our values.
Isn't it? Simplicity? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how my brain works.
And even once we build it, we keep trying to simplify it over and over and over. So we're not where we want to be yet, but we're very close to it. So we're all about high impact, low volume. Yeah, this is not to consume your life. This is to uplift your life.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched it yet, it's called The Social Dilemma. They talk, you know, engineers out of those big organizations. His name is Tristan Harris. He was part of Facebook, Google, Twitter. All of these people that have worked in those organizations talk about how the algorithms are designed to consume people based on dopamine hit. And what ShareTree is the total opposite of that. It's a social purpose ecosystem. It's about lifting you up. It's about not consuming you. There's zero advertising. So they're driven by advertising. We're driven by performance. And that's the key difference. We make people have higher states of well-being and performance with the technology we build. And that's how we make our money, because you thrive, not we thrive. We thrive together. That's a community.
Yeah. But it's amazing how I see like my brain working too. You know, I was with the Facebook and Instagram, you know, in the morning, and it's just so overwhelming for me, where my brain breathes better in the simplicity. And I was just kind of wondering if it's just something wrong with me, but obviously it's not. It's just
so you saw the 4 chemicals I mentioned before, the 4 chemical states: dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and serotonin. So those other apps work predominantly all on dopamine. You feel it. You use it, and it's drawing you in to look, oh, what did someone say? How did they react? You know, who likes me? Yeah, it's a very introspective view. ShareTree doesn't do anything about look at me. It's all about look at you. Yeah, it's about expressing it outwardly, and the reciprocity kicks in, and then you get it back. And that is a natural order and flow. There's no addictive qualities to the app that we've built, which is also our challenge, because we've got to compete with all of the dopamine drugs that they're handing out while we're trying to gently uplift people, which takes time and effort. But it's
That is absolutely true.
so
Absolutely true.
if you'll go back to the groups now, you'll notice on the group, you guys are group members, right? So I can see the status of your evolution. So now as a leader, I can start seeing how my teams evolve their own character. What stage are they at? Who do I need to support? Who do I need to help in their own evolution? Now I can acknowledge you directly through here. That will just go straight to Michelle's, send a leaf to Michelle. I could go and check your profile and change your status. So I want to show you something before I go there. So if I go back to the group, the default view is the feed for this group now. So it will isolate your general feed, will have all the feeds for all the groups and connections you have. This will be the isolated feed specifically for this group. I have a little icon down the bottom here that you don't have yet, right? Which is to do a culture post. So if I go back and change your status, so I'll change you now and make you an admin. Make an admin leader, same as Michelle. Now, if you go back to your profiles on that page, you should see that icon appear now. You might have to accept. I might have sent you a notification to accept being an admin or leader. I'm not too sure, but just
Yeah, it works right now. I see it.
So it's come up. So now what you can do, if we acknowledge each other on this platform, so let me just give you a quick acknowledgement so you see it will come up. So I'll acknowledge Naz. Now for your acknowledging simplicity itself. Thanks for acknowledging the simplicity of ShareTree. So I'll send that to you. If you accept that, you'll see it will come into the group feed. And this is where these panels become powerful. Every time you walk past them, they turn on. It's truly eco-friendly. It fully goes to sleep. It's not just a black screen. And then when someone walks past again, it turns on. And every time it updates, you're seeing the interchange of gratitude between people. Now, I mean, it's the same on your phone, but there's something about it being up on a wall that we noticed when we had paper trees when we first did our research. So if you just accept that leaf.
I can't see it. It didn't come through.
Let me just make sure that it's got, I haven't got my.
Oh yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because I had my notifications switched off, so we don't get disturbed.
Yes.
So once you accept that, if I go back to that group now, test group, you see it's on the tree now. So this is our specific feed, but it's also on my personal feed. See, there's on the personal feed. So the personal feed aggregates everything for me. So it's my view of all my connections, whereas the group feed is specific to that group. So you have these panels set up just with the group feed. So it's only showing what's going on in your culture. Now I can do now a culture post because I've made you admins and leaders. It means you will get the monthly reporting. Anyone that's an admin, leader, or an owner will get the monthly reporting, and you get the ability to do culture posts. So I can create welcome to ShareTree practitioners, culture practitioners. So you're running a workshop, for instance, Naz or Michelle, even with your students or with your staff, you can keep them up to date with posts about what's going on. Now,
well, you read my mind. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So it's an all integrated post. Yeah, that again makes you keep away from rubbish. So I could put an image there. Let me put up something from the gallery. I'll put a photo of my daughter. I'll say, yeah, my daughter has lost her tooth there. I'll put that up there as a...
Oh,
Yeah, she's big smile.
So I can link it to the website. So I'll link that to ShareTree.org. Then this is the great part, is that it guides people to only post about culture activity. So either an activity, so we're actually going to do one today on an achievement that you guys are part of Culture Practitioner group, or a community benefit of volunteering. If you're not sure what they are, you can always hit the I button up the top here. It will explain what each of those aspects are. So group related events and activities for building character and culture, company barbecues, posts about company and character, team workshops, community benefits, group events where you volunteer or have a contribution to the community, food deliveries, making care packages. Achievements is meant to acknowledge individual and group achievements that you would like to share and celebrate. Award industry recognitions, completing certification. So we're going to make this post an achievement. Yeah, we're going to celebrate you joining Culture Practitioners.
You can always put any link, right? Like any website link there.
Yeah, you can put in any website that's in that part.
That's related to, obviously,
that's related to the activity. Yep. So you might say, we're volunteering this month at World Vision. Yeah. So you could put World Vision link in there. Okay. Or please help us support. We're raising funds and donations. Someone is going to get, critical surgery. Yeah. So you put the link in there. Okay. Now, the visibility, you've got control. So you can post this to group members only. So it just keeps it within your group private, or you can put it public. So if you put it public, those that are supporting and following your group page will also see the message. So we'll make this one public. Now you've got an option that you can create an event time. So say I'm running a barbecue for this Friday. I can say, yeah, barbecue running. It's happening this Saturday morning to raise funds for the, whatever the cause is, starting at 9 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m. till lunchtime, 12:30 p.m. And then you can put a physical address. So we're running the barbecue at Glen Waverley. I could put the actual address in, but I won't do that because we're on recording. And then here I can even put an online Zoom link. Yeah. So I can say, okay, support us also online. This is live and online, as well as face-to-face, or one or the other. And then you can pop that in there as well. And then you publish that. So I post that to live, or I could save it into drafts, and that can occur a lot. I want to capture a photo of the person. I want to collect an image, whatever it might be. Then you'll save it to drafts. So HTTPS, share, I'll just put a link in here. So it's not mandatory, but because I've started it, I'll just finish it off. Now that comes up on the feed.
Oh.
My dog done a beautiful photo bomb there. So yeah, that's how you do an event post. Yeah, it's pretty simple, straightforward. Allows you to keep in touch with everyone. This is it coming in next release, inspired buttons and the shared button, which is already there for posts, but they'll be coming for all the activities. Cool.
This is great.
Questions at all? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's great. It's easy.
So that's
simple.
That's the key part of groups menu. Create a new group, which we've just covered. Now we'll go through the educate metrics with you. Now for a group, the same again, you can scroll the page. I'll just switch back. So you can scroll between the pages the same you do in your normal profile. So one's the feed, one's the tree. So now you see there's our tree for this group. So if I touch that, shows me the leaf within that branch. So Naz received a leaf for simplicity. The heart of the tree is the same. It's going to put your group name here. Down the bottom here, it's got the 3 primary values of this group. Yeah, so it helps everyone in the organization understand what this group's values are about that are linked to the primary, to unify us all. I can go to the settings page. Here it's got what I've selected as the global initiatives. I can edit the profile. I can change our values. I can add parent and dependent groups and volunteering activities because we're a charity group. So I can create a volunteering activity here now. I'll say add, and it's going to allow me now to create a volunteering opportunity, which will go up on the post as well. And then we can attract volunteers based on character and alignment. So I don't want to create that now, but know that that's there. I can add parent or dependent groups as well as part of this group. So it will link the leaves up. So say you create a mastermind Blink Minds group, and then you have lots of chapters set up, then all the leaves can flow up the whole tree. So you'll see them at the top. You'll see the culture of your entire organization. So if I show you ShareTree group, for instance, so go to groups. Here is the ShareTree group. So this is the collective group that aggregates all of the subgroups. So in that group, we've got, you can see it's 3.3 thousand leaves in this group, and we've got dependent groups in that group, ShareTree, and the Vative group. Now the Vative group also has another 3 groups, which those leaves flow up to the Vative group, and this flows up to our group. And in ShareTree, we have another 3 groups. We've got the RISE group, we've got the meditation group, and we've got the culture practitioners group. All those leaves are flowing up the tree as well.
Oh, okay. So you can do like Blink Minds and then
it's unlimited. You can link as many groups as you want. And
okay.
the leaves will flow all the way up the chain.
Okay, so that might just match, with the camp or whatever that the group that I might be just creating under Blink Minds, which will come into the big 3 based on the strengths and all these
so the great thing about that
activities.
Is you can have the group collective feed set up on this panel for that group. So say you're running a conference and you've got many subgroups, you can have all the feeds from all those groups running into a central feed, and then everyone can see all the exchange between all of the subgroups. So as soon as you link the group, then the privacy rights move across with it. So you start seeing it. Now I still can't see your private leaves if I'm not in your forest, only the group ones. It still protects your privacy as an individual.
Okay.
Cool. Now in the settings of groups, let me go back to the test group. Which I'll do it here. So here's the parent group for ShareTree. If I touch the share standards for this group, they're specific to the group. So they're similar to the individual, but there's some slight differences. Now the educate metric is collating all the members of this group who've completed the educate standard. So we've got a lot of new volunteers in the group. I need to go back through and take them through the education process. Now it's built into the app. You can just watch the video and then you do the Q&A and then you're done. As an individual, it's counting those individuals. So the next part is about engage for the group. So for the group, the target to engage, again, there's a video there to watch, but it's about, let's tick that off so we can complete it. So we are trying to encourage all organizations to contribute at least 5% of their gross profits annually towards community contribution. Now that could be goods in kind, that can be services. They calculate it out their own way. Unless they want it certified, it's self-nominated. So we are a charity org. So 100% of our activities, our profits go back to community benefit. So we're 100. So you can see that goes green now because we're above the 5%. The next part is about empowering. So we're trying to inspire organizations to have better equity of income. So what we're inspiring them to is a ratio of 30-1. So the highest income earner versus the lowest income earner, that disparity is never greater than 30-1. So again, I'll put ours in because I know what ours is. I just did ours recently and it's been certified. We are at a 2-1 ratio.
Wow.
So the last part is whether you want to be certified. So we're exploring global partners for this at the moment. At the moment, we have in-house local partnerships, but we need to create a global partnership. So once you complete that, then you'll have a green band also around the certification. But the majority of people are doing the right thing. So we just get people to self-nominate and start thinking about these values, and we keep it really simple. If you want deeper level of certification, you do something like a B Corp, but we're just trying to inspire simplicity again to create shift and change. If everyone's doing a little bit for the community and everyone's paying people fairly, 99% of the problems will solve themselves.
Great.
So that is the group's share standard. So the metrics. Joining the group is pretty straightforward. We've already gone through that. Editing the group, we've already covered managing group members. So we went in and how you change the standard. I'll kick you guys out of the group at the end, and then I'll delete the group as part of this activity. So edit the favorites is the last part. So if I go to my groups again, just go to the page. So here's my home. I go to my groups. Now see this down the bottom right here, edit favorites. If I click on that, then it lists all my groups and I can check which I want in my top 5. And it will put them automatically into this feed bar up the top. See how I've got my favorite groups up here? So the ones with the green band around them are the default settings. And then you've got these favorite groups up the top. So I've got there the ShareTree group, Vative Healthcare, Vative, our development team, and my family.
Okay.
So the other part is join another group on ShareTree. You can also search through here. Yeah. So it just takes you to the same place. So that's groups. Any questions at all on groups? Pretty straightforward, easy.
Yes.
There's one button that's coming here that's useful for groups and individuals. So this is called gratitude moments. So we studied our physical tree and we surveyed the team that were using it, and we gave them a list of reasons why they come to the tree. So first we went and asked people individually, we collated the list of them, and then we surveyed them what was the order of priority that they were going to the tree for what reasons. We were surprised to find out the number one reason that people went to the tree was for inspiration and uplifting, to read the exchange of gratitude between people, not specifically themselves. So we thought people would be going to either give leaves or to read the leaves received. But the main reason was to watch the exchange of leaves between others. It was uplifting. So gratitude moments does that. Once it's running, it's not running at the moment, they're building it. It will feed an animation of all the exchange of leaves with the music behind it. So you can go for moments of gratitude, inspiration. It will also have an option to change the setting to get video feeds of people that are doing posts on character strengths. So you can do a video about determination. You can do a video about understanding, a video about empathy, a video about purpose. So based on who is inspired by those videos, it will feed your feed to help build your character. So if you're doing a character growth exercise on gratitude, it will feed you the gratitude videos. If you choose to do one on determination, it will start feeding you the determination videos. So now the world that people have character strengths that people see in them start becoming the coach of others. So again, using technology for good, not like the other.
No, it's amazing that the ecosystem that you're talking about is it's growing itself.
Yeah, like we couldn't even
That's-
imagine all these ideas when we first started out, but now they're just building on top of each other, strength upon strength, like our character.
That's amazing.
So that's groups sorted.
Yes, it's all good.
Now, who do we pick as a culture leader? When you set up a group, who would you pick of those admins as those culture leaders? What type of people do you think you'd pick?
I guess those people within the organisation who have that natural ability to inspire,
Perfect.
that stand out from the crowd already, that people respect already. There's a natural pull towards those people.
You've nailed it in one shot, Michelle. I can see your depth of experience there. So the typical answer people say is the technical leader, the CEO, the ops manager. Yes, they should be on there because they're influencing the team, but the true culture leader is normally not recognized. They're normally not seen. Often they're the EA of the executives. Often they are the HR people that empathize with everyone. What I normally say is it's the people that you spot that collect the gossip but spread none of it. They are pacifying people. They are naturally grateful. They have a natural rapport with the team, is generally social and caring, and there can be more than one in a team. And what they love about ShareTree is for the first time, they are recognized for the tremendous amount of value that they bring to the team that has gone unseen mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're spotting that person in a tribal context. They mark that person out. Yeah, those people are highly valued in the tribe. And what we're doing with ShareTree is we're building the tribe again.